Get your hair cut way up high. Get yourself a lawyer, son. You're gonna need a real good one.
Time to help you. David Whiting is here to do just that. Free legal advice on 1300 222 774, and also possibly one of the most epic moments of deja vu ever experienced. David Whiting, good morning.
Good morning, Virginia.
Because you want to share a story
that you're sure you've talked about before.
I will lay you London to a brick that you've brought us this story before.
Okay.
All right, well, let's go.
Okay. Well,
Other than that, I'm going completely mad.
Well, let's hope that's not the case. Last year, we talked about a case out of Italy where there was mum and dad went to the Supreme Court to get their 32-year-old son out of the house.
Yes.
What I found over the weekend was a case out of India where mum and dad said, I brought you up, I gave you a good education, I gave you on-the-job training, you didn't achieve anything at that stage, so I thought if I got you married, then things would get better. So what they've done is they've come along and said it's taken us $650,000, so 900,000 Australian dollars to educate you, to do everything for you.
Yeah.
You haven't given me a grandchild.
Yes.
So give me a grandchild within a year.
Yes.
Or give me the money back.
We talked about this.
Okay.
Didn't we talk about this?
Now, can I say I don't because I haven't seen it till I looked on the weekend, but I do transcribe these programs. I will...
do you really? You
yes.
don't transcribe them yourself, do you?
No, there's a website that does 90% of the work for me. But
wow.
The aim was to put them on my website.
Good
I just
on you,
haven't got
David.
around to it. So I've got 5 years of transcripts.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. Okay, well, look, either I'm going mad or I'm actually living a parallel life.
That's
and in
possible.
some other, I believe in the multiverse, and that in some other universe I'm also answering calls and hosting a radio program, and we talked about it there, or not.
Or not. Well, I have got another one you haven't heard of. There's a lady who wrote a book
Hang on,
called...
before you do that though, what's the result? So they've issued suit?
It's still running. Somebody said it's the first of the case, but first case of the kind.
What court do you hear that?
I'll be the Supreme Court of whatever state it is in India. But
Okay.
they talk about court delays. The oldest unresolved case in India was launched in 1951 and is yet to be finalised. So,
What are the lawyers' fees sucked up there?
well, that just so happens that the next application is for the payment of costs. So there's the answer to your question.
Exactly right.
Yep.
1300 222 774. If you remember us discussing that story about the Indian parents saying, you didn't give me a grandkid, give me the money back, please call in, because otherwise I'm going stark staring mad. That's the number in order to get some free legal advice. Where shall we go? Okay, Colin in Vermont, go ahead. How can we help?
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
My daughter and her partner are moving into a property owned by my wife and I, although my daughter has a 10% equity in the property. The partner will be spending money on modifications to the premises so that he can work from home. My question is, in the event of a relationship breakdown, does the partner have any claim or rights in regard to the property?
Why don't you offset the whatever he's doing against any rent they might otherwise pay, Colin? Because what you're trying to avoid, he'll have no claim on yours or your wife's interest, may have some kind of claim on the daughter's on the basis that he's improved her value. But why would you not formalise the arrangement that he'll do this work to the property? Or alternatively, you would treat it like tenants' works. You want it to be undone when he leaves.
Okay, that would require some sort of legal arrangement, I guess.
It could simply be an informal document between the four of you that says that the daughter and her partner are moving into the house. While they're there, they'll undertake this work, and when they leave, they'll put it back the way it was.
Colin, it sounds like you don't have much faith in the longevity of this relationship.
Well, you only have to look around to believe that's quite true.
Okay. So he has hope but no expectation. Good luck, Colin.
Well, that's life really, isn't it?
It is.
It's a good way to start. Good luck, Colin, and good luck to your daughter and her partner. I hope they're happy together. Anthony in Mornington, go right ahead. And just a quick reminder to anyone waiting on the line, please don't speak to us on speakerphone. Please pick up the phone. Anthony in Mornington, good morning.
Good morning, Virginia. Good morning, esteemed man in the corner. Speed camera question. There is a new reduced speed zone in the Pean Highway, Frankston, southbound. that's enforced by an overworked camera in a new outdoor dining zone that's caught so many drivers that it now has its own Facebook page.
Wow.
The original plan was to have illuminated signs, as announced by Frankston Council in June 21. So some have been installed, but none switched on. Standard speed zone signs are caught up in the commercial signs of the Frankston CBD.
Yes.
Northbound is also an outdoor dining zone, but has no reduced speeds. Question, is the high rate of offending grounds for appeal in that clearly the signage is not sufficient?
No.
That's it?
It's an offence of strict liability. You either comply with the sign or you don't. A sign, I noticed where I was in Queensland in February, and they have signs that say if the sign's not displayed, the limit is X. In Victoria, if the sign's not displayed, it's not a sign. So if you've got one of those illuminated signs and it's not working, then it's whatever the appropriate speed limit is for the area.
And that is it. So good luck, Anthony. Sorry about that. This on text, can the child countersue the parents for not producing the sibling that they wanted? Countersued?
I've got an only child. Perhaps I'd rather not answer that question.
It's not about David.
Okay, it's not about me. No.
No, that's not going to work. All right, okay. Being told that the story has been told before, but not sure if it was with you.
Okay.
Might have been, I don't know who else would want to raise that, but anyway. Here we go. Shirley in Warrnambool. Go right ahead, Shirley.
Thank you. Good morning, David. David, I'm a 72-year-old living alone. 3 weeks ago, I had a registered Mercedes dumped in my rear driveway, hindering my access and my garage. The owner's been notified on numerous occasions.
Is the owner a local, Shirley?
Pardon?
Is the owner a local, or is it?
Yes, the owner is a local. There's no key to the vehicle. It's unlocked. She is unlicensed. She's been notified by police and council on numerous occasions over these 3 weeks. Police tell me and council tell me it's on private land. It's registered. No one can do anything. Where do I go from here?
The technical answer, Shirley, is the Magistrates Court for an injunction for its removal. But it may well be that we're starting to spend some serious money to get the vehicle removed. John Fain would already have said just arrange to push it out in the street and make it the council's problem. I feel mildly uncomfortable with that. But
I'm afraid I have an even different approach, which is that I want it, fine, I'll take it.
Yeah, you'll probably find that there's a security interest held by a finance company in respect to the vehicle, which means they have priority.
Not my problem, but, it would become my problem, I'm sure.
Okay, it could be if you decided to make it your own.
All right, so Shirley, what do you think you're going to do?
Well, I'm reluctant to have to proceed down the court process and incur rather hefty costs when we're in 6 feet off the laneway of public land.
So, Shirley, can you go and talk to the person who owns the car and say, I just need you to move it? Don't care where you move it to. I just need it moved.
Police have done that on 2 occasions and council have done it on 2 occasions. I think she's got a lot of other problems other than the vehicle, perhaps. I just need the vehicle removed. It's taking me a 6-point turn to get out of my garage.
Yes.
I also have tradesmen wanting to use the other access part of my driveway. I thought 3 weeks was reasonable.
Why
can
don't
I move it elsewhere?
Look, sometimes it's easier to ask forgiveness than it is to ask permission. I would see whether you could get a tow truck operator to move it to the owner's place and leave it outside the front of her place.
Can I move it?
Well,
can
what
I
is she
legally
going
touch
to
the vehicle
do?
if it's damaged or whatever in transit?
That is always a risk that you're going to have, but it's still going to be less than your legal costs. I would be inclined, now you know who it is, you know where they live, return it to their place.
It'll be dumping it in the street.
No, you'll be leaving it out the front of her place.
Yes.
And that then becomes her problem to take it inside her property. That's what I would do.
Can I instruct a tow truck to take it to their yard and they hold it?
No, because there'll be storage costs if it goes to the yard, and you're the person who'll be liable for the storage costs. I don't want that to happen to you.
Can the council do that and then retrieve the costs via a process?
The council has no right to take it off your property. Even if you
Right.
even if you give them permission, they can't take it off your property.
And it happens to roll back into the laneway?
Then I don't have a problem if it happens to roll back into the laneway. Just wipe the steering wheel after you've done it.
Very
luck.
good.
Thank you, Shirley.
Thank you very much, David. Thank
Oh
you.
boy, I can hear the fear in Shirley's voice, and I share that because the consequences might be. Shirley, you're still there? Do we know why it's been dumped? Is there a reason?
No, I think just skylarking around probably, and I have a laneway at the rear, and I think it's either the battery or petrol, I don't know, has run out, and they've just left it there on an angle. It's, as I said, it's a Mercedes vehicle. There's been some damage done to it.
Right.
But why she won't pick it up, I don't know. But
Another issue, Shirley, another play. What you can do is you can check whether or not on the Vic Roads website you can start to see if there is a charge or interest in the vehicle. So if there's a finance company involved, you might ring the finance company and say the vehicle's been abandoned in your driveway.
Yeah.
And that will put some pressure on her from the financier.
And take photographs of the damage in situ in the
Yes.
driveway before you actually
Do
call the
anything.
tow truck and move it. Good luck, Shirley. Let us know how that goes. It's a curious story. Bruno in Pascoe Vale, what's going on?
Good morning, David and Virginia. I'm about to go into a coffee shop in the city, and the landlord does not want to give me a lease, wants to give me a licence. And I've been told that's because that gets them around the legalities of the Retail Tenancies Act. Is there David's opinion on what I should do, whether I should go ahead with it, whether I should insist on a lease, or... that's where I'm at.
The difference between a license and a lease is that a lease gives you a right to exclusive possession. So if you were taking some premises in the building that I'm in, for example, what you would...
It could very well be.
No, it won't be. Well, I can tell you that you wouldn't... No, anyway. Nice landlord, different question. What you do is I've got a lease of the floor that I occupy, but I also have a licence to use the common areas like the stairwells and the lifts and those sorts of things. So it may well be that you're in a foyer of a building, so it might be difficult to give you a lease.
Oh, okay.
So, and it may be that the person you're taking the property from, so that could be the issue. But yes, it does. If you're taking, if you don't have a right to exclusive possession, it's a licence.
So that's standard across the board, is it, David? That's how it normally operates?
I would expect that you should have an exclusive right to occupy the area in which you conduct your business.
They've also written in, yes, well, it says I don't have exclusivity. And that's what it does say on there. So that's the main reason. I thought it might have been that so that they weren't covered by the same rules as what happened during COVID, that if people can't pay their rent, they weren't allowed to be kicked out. I thought it was part of that. No. Okay.
All right. Good luck. Hope that's helpful advice there from David. 1300 222 774 is the number. Sylvia from Woolamai, go ahead.
Good morning. I live on a farm. I have three livestock guardian dogs.
Mm-hmm. What
they
sort of
roam
dogs are
the
they?
property. They're Maremas.
Okay.
And I have a sign on the front gate that says guard dogs. They roam the property because I've got some chickens and lambs.
Yeah.
I recently had someone come to the house in error, was going to my neighbours. I wasn't home, and the dogs bailed them up and they ended up on the top of the water tank.
Yes.
My
For long.
question is, what is my, what do I need to do? Do I need to give clear access to a house? Because I have a, 450 metre driveway that they sort of roam.
Yes.
And the house isn't fenced off. And I'm just worried about,
Sylvia,
if something happened.
your real issue is that you make access to your home quite easy.
Mm-hmm.
And there is the concept of what's called an implied licence that allows me to go from the front gate to your front door.
Yeah.
Unless you make it clear that I'm not allowed to go from the front gate to your front door.
Right.
So I think that a sign on its own probably wouldn't work.
No. Okay.
So
yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
You might look at some better way of securing the areas in which the dogs roam.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for your help.
No bites or nips along the way, just frightened
no
people on
bites
top
or
of a
nips,
water tank.
Just barking.
You've
How'd they get up the top of the water tank?
They climbed on the front veranda and then scapered off the end of the front veranda onto the top of the water tank. So, yeah, anyway.
You shouldn't laugh.
All was fine at the end. My neighbour rescued them, but, it was just sort of got me wondering, like, what I need to do.
Yeah, no, it's a good question to ask. Thanks, Sylvia. But I do have an image of people frightened on top of a water tank now that I won't be able to get out of my head for the rest of the day, I think. Andrew, South Yarra. Go right ahead, Andrew.
Morning, David.
Morning.
I've got a situation where adverse possession. I have in my hand a surveyor's document that's 14 and a half years old. And I know I've got the 15 years. Now, it's in my advantage. Is the process for adverse possession complex? Is it what is it? What do you have to do?
Andrew, how long have you adversely possessed the land?
We have 12 years.
Okay, so you need, and did the person you buy your property from adversely possess it before you?
No, they just had surveying documents done with the intent to change.
Well, did you fence the property or did somebody else fence the property?
Oh, right. No, someone else fenced the property.
So when you bought the property that you bought, it was included within the area that we're talking about was included in the fence line?
Yes.
Yes. Right. Then you probably could acquire their rights of adverse possession to the land for the period that they owned it. You could add it to your 12 years and you probably find you've got 15 already. It requires a survey, a formal survey. You could use the one from 14 years ago, but it would need to be refreshed with new updated records. And then you apply for adverse possession, claiming how you've got the possession. So you need an assignment of possessory rights, and then you need what's called a disinterested witness. So someone who isn't you, isn't the neighbour, or isn't the person you bought from, and say, I've known that property to be fenced for over 15 years.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, and hopefully that goes through. Sonia in Toorak. What's going on, Sonia?
Yes, good morning, David, Virginia. I engaged a tiling company a few weeks ago to tile 3 bathrooms, kitchen and a laundry. I paid for the tiling job in full. And then I had an issue, they haven't finished the job yet, but I had an issue with the tiling of 3 window ledges. And they tried to rectify it, and they then gave me a quote or a payment for variation. I believe that that's an actual error in workmanship, and it hasn't been rectified as yet, as far as I'm concerned. Now they won't continue to finish the job of the last bathroom until the job for the variation is being paid for.
Wow. You don't accept it's a variation, it's a repair, isn't it?
No, it's an error, yes.
Then, Sonia, the only thing I can suggest is VCAT.
Oh,
yes.
Really? Is that the only thing?
Yeah.
Well, there's either negotiation or you go to VCAT or you go to the magistrates' court.
Right.
And VCAT, I would have thought, would be a simpler solution.
Yep.
How
I
much,
just feel as though they've
did you
got me
pay?
over a barrel.
How much? Yeah, exactly. How much did you pay up front, Sonia?
Just over 18,000.
Right.
Right.
What's VCAT going to cost, David?
It'll be the issue fee, because one of the things that you're going to ask VCAT is to determine, well, it's an action for... I would be suggesting that if they don't resume work, then you might terminate the contract and you then go to VCAT. You then got the cost to repair, and you then... What you're really doing is asking VCAT how much should they pay you back.
Yes.
Would they meet you halfway on the bill that they've issued for the redo?
No, they want it paid in full, and I need to send an email to them with the issues and builder's license, etc., before they'll start work on the final room.
The builder's license? What do you mean?
They just want to know if my builder is obviously a registered builder. I don't know.
Oh, so this is a tiling being done as part of a larger contract, is that right?
As part of a renovation, yes.
Okay, then they can work that out themselves by looking at the Victorian Building Authority and see if he's a registered building practitioner.
Yes,
I don't
exactly.
see that as an issue.
And your
No.
builder can't deal directly with this subby. They're not a subcontractor. They've actually been contracted by you.
Basically contracted by me, yes.
Yeah. Same principle, Sonia. VCAT's your answer.
Sonia, good luck. I've got this on text. Paid in full before the job is done. Who does that? Is that unusual, David?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it unwise?
You need to be satisfied. Now, it's not often you would get 3 bathrooms and a kitchen and a laundry done in one go.
Yeah.
I would have thought, unless Sonia's had experience from them, I understand they want to be ahead of where they're supposed to be.
Sure. You pay instalments
You
sometimes.
would pay on instalments. You might pay as each one. So you might pay for the tiles because you want them all to match.
Yep.
And then you would pay for the labour on a bathroom by bathroom or room by room.
And this is $18,000. It's a bargain. Pay the variation and get on with it, says Simon. $18,000 for 3 bathrooms, a kitchen and a laundry.
It sounds to me to be cheap.
It doesn't sound like a lot.
But it depends on whether the tiles... if the tiles were in, I would have thought it was unbelievably cheap.
Yeah. And we don't know. Oh, well, Sonia, good luck with that. Tony in Pakenham, I think you'll be the last one today. Go ahead.
Tony.
Hello, Tony. You there?
Oh, hi, sorry, yep. Query, David, for you. We're one of 3 owners of a strata title, Owners Corp question, and we own the apartment above 2 shops, and one of those shops on a corner has a veranda above the footpath. The roof needs repair on that veranda, and we have already had air rights proven to be ours above the apartment itself, which is obviously on the first floor. The query is, are we liable for any portion of the cost of repairing the veranda?
I'd want to look at the strata plan or the plan of subdivision to see whether the veranda is inside the unit or not.
No, it's not. It's only above it. It goes right around the edge of the building, attached to the wall, and it's totally over the footpath.
And, well, I would have thought they were the people who would benefit from the work being done. So it then comes down to whether... So it's... because the canopy's not internal, it's on other people's property. There's a council permit. I would be suggesting that if it's not covered by the standard maintenance budget, it becomes their responsibility on the basis that they benefit from the work being done. It's about Section 24 of the Owners Corporation Act, Section 27 of the Owners Corporation Act. Have a look there.
Okay, thank you. Yep, thanks very much for your help. Thank you.
David, I'm being told that, where is it? Rupert, the Black Labrador, is listening intently to David and loves his show each week.
Right.
So would you like to just say and tell Rupert that he's a good boy? Could you tell him?
Rupert, you're a very good boy.
Good boy, Rupie. Good boy, good boy. And hopefully he's enjoying that right now. David, nice to see you. Thanks so much.